loves, welcome back to my channel. Today I am here with my husband Matt because I asked you guys for video requests on Instagram, and a lot of people said that they wanted to see a sit-down video with the two of us talking about how life has changed since having a baby. So that's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna talk about our relationship, we're gonna talk about work, we're gonna talk about personal stuff.
Personal stuff?
Yeah, talk about yourself.
I don't think I knew what I was getting into here.
Bunny hair in your hair.
Bunny hair.
So I think the biggest thing that people wanted to know about was how our relationship has changed since having a baby, and if it's been harder, if we fight more, what it's been like to see the other person become a parent, etc.
Well, you've just been great.
Oh.
From the beginning, like you met the whole pregnancy thing head on, and you dove into all like the mommy books and the journaling and all this stuff. And so yeah, it's so interesting, like, cause stuff starts happening to you right away, but I'm just kind of like on the sidelines for 8 months, just trying to help you or whatever. But like as far as like becoming a dad, like it's something that happens to you, and you just adapt to if you're a good father, you just like, okay, I'm gonna start being a father. It's not like, I don't feel like you could like really train on it or take a class or anything. Something that's changed for me is like being more conscious about how I handle being impatient.
With me or
no,
baby?
with the baby, with the baby more, because like he doesn't understand, and like something that Megan's taught me to help me with that is like, if he's crying or screaming or whatever, it's because he's having a hard time. And so just like trying to change that perspective and be like he's suffering, like he's uncomfortable, he's unhappy, or he's sad, or or I need to help him, or he will literally die, like he can't take care of himself. And so just like trying to keep it in that perspective.
People asked if we fight more, and I get where that is coming from, because I think you're low on sleep and you're often frustrated because the baby's crying and you don't know what's wrong and you can't make it stop, and it's obviously easier to take that out on the other adult in the house than to take it out on the baby who's just helpless and sad and you love them so much. So I do think that there's like kind of a temptation there to snap at each other and bicker more. But I don't think that we give into that very often, and I wouldn't say that we like fight more overall.
No, not more. I mean, we don't fight much to begin with, but like what we kind of do is we'll like just disagree over something stupid or petty, or like because the trash bag wasn't fitted into the bin properly or something stupid like that.
And then we're both stubborn and strong-willed, and we don't want to back down, so it escalates a little bit until we're actually fighting about something. And
then it's just like stupid at that point. But we're really good about like coming back from those things, like just taking like 5 minutes or whatever and cooling off. So I wouldn't say we fight more.
I think what we've done that's helped that has been, because those little inciting incidents are just like little things, we tend to fight more when we're like irritated in general. So just being like, I'm on edge today, like I'm tired and irritable, it's not your fault, and just like communicating that so that we don't have that little like you get irritated about one thing and then it just like spirals. And I think since we've been really intentional about that, it really hasn't been bad.
Yeah, it's not like walking on eggshells or anything. It's just not, it's mitigating a defensive reaction, because that just always makes it worse. And like, so it's, well, like, why are your shoes in the hallway? Well, what's wrong with my shoes in the hallway? Okay, like, wow, like I just made that up.
Yeah,
like,
because you're low on sleep because of the baby.
Yeah, you're low on sleep, or you haven't eaten. There's pizza in the oven right now. Yeah, just like, it's so easy to just like, I feel like our fuses are a little bit shorter.
Yeah.
But at the same time, as long as you can just kind of like keep that in your mind
and communicate and not hold grudges when it happens, because you have to understand where the other person is coming from when you're just like exhausted and beside yourself. Like, you got to give the other person a little grace. Like, there have been moments where you've kind of flown off the handle a little bit, moments where I've done it, and overall
I don't know what you're talking about.
Shut up. Overall, you just gotta kind of like be able to reset and move on. Something that has been an interesting transition for me in our relationship is I've had to get way better at communicating what I need, because since I'm breastfeeding, I do a lot of the work with him, because obviously you can't breastfeed, so you can't do that.
I could try, but it wouldn't go well.
And it's easy to just like breastfeed and then like, okay, well, I'll burp him. Okay, well, I'll change his diaper. Okay, well, we're doing the wake window now. And then all of a sudden he's down for a nap again. And like, I did that whole thing myself if I don't ask for help. And then from that point, it's really easy to get kind of like resentful and be like, well, why am I doing everything? And I had to step back and be like, well, you're not asking for help. You have to ask for help.
100%.
Okay, that's gonna go with the pizza.
It needs 2 more minutes. So yeah. And like the flip side of that is like me being more proactive about not waiting for her to ask for help. And just being like you know the schedule, like he goes down, he comes up, he goes down, he wakes up, you know, it's just like it's the same thing every day. So like when he starts crying or like after the feed, just being like, hey, why don't you let me burp him? And like, even though something I've learned, that even though that's like not really a big deal for me, it's like a huge deal for her, because it's something that she doesn't have to do, and she
it's a mental break.
Yeah, she gets to be Megan, and then like yeah, then I'll just like do the wake window and like read or tummy time or whatever. And like that's an hour like more in your life that you get back, kind of. And so something I've been trying to do is to be better and be more proactive about that, instead of waiting to put the burden on her to ask for help, to just offer that help first.
I always really appreciate when you do that. It's really nice.
It's hard sometimes to remember, especially when I'm like working.
On the like physical side of things, it was so weird because when he was first born, Matt and I were like ships in the night and we hardly saw each other. And so when we did see each other, because basically we were taking shifts, so like one would be taking care of the baby and the other one would be sleeping because we were exhausted. And in the moments where we did see each other, I remember just like touching your face and it feeling weird, because you're with this little tiny person all the time. And I remember it just being like, you're so big. Like you're an adult. I don't know if that sounds weird, but that was something that like kind of struck me. Like, you know, when you're first dating somebody and they're like kind of unfamiliar to you, or you like hug them and it's just unfamiliar, like that happened because it had been so long since we had had time to like cuddle or anything. And we're both very big like physical touch, love language people. So that was really weird and that freaked me out. So that's something we had to like really intentionally work on. Yeah,
and then like we couldn't even be, you know, intimate either because of baby, because like you had a baby, not because of the baby, but because a baby happened
for like at least 6 weeks. They don't like clear you, and then when you do like start doing that again, it's like uncomfortable because you're like swollen and all stitched up, and then if you're breastfeeding, like all the moisture in your body is going towards making the breast milk, so there's not a lot left for downstairs
activities.
Yeah, so that was something we had to like get into the groove of again as well. I will say that like I know a lot of women are like, I don't want that, like too much trauma down there, I'm not ready, or like your body is changing, and I didn't feel that way. I was like ready again when I got cleared, which was nice. I was expecting it to be harder mentally and emotionally, but
well,
stop.
Like there's a lot of jokes about men too, just being like you know, you watch your wife give birth and it's just like, like not going near that again. But I didn't have that experience at all. Like I was there, you know, I was holding her leg and being like, oh look, there's the head, okay, it's going back in. Oh look, there's the head, it's going back in. And then just being like, oh my god, like there it is, oh my gosh. And then like 6 weeks went by and I was like, are you ready yet? Are you ready yet? Are you ready yet? Yeah, and it's just like never, it wasn't weird at all for me.
That's something that some people asked about, was like if it looked or felt different down there.
No, I mean, we had to be gentle at first, you know, but
yeah, TMI, but we're doing some real talk right now, so.
One thing I did notice, I guess, was that like you could kind of feel where the stitches were, because, you know, like,
so weird, you
got stitched up, and so there was like some scar tissue there, and like that's gone away over the weeks, you know, so it's like was that there before? Like, I don't know. Now I know it wasn't, because it's not there anymore. So, yeah, TMI, but
yeah. I think it's been important to just like take time to be like husband and wife and not just mom and dad. It's hard to do, to carve out time, especially with everything that's going on, because it's not like we can just call up a babysitter or whatever. So it's been hard because we haven't had any help. So carving out that, like, even just like ordering DoorDash and sitting and watching a movie after he goes to bed, like, even though you're so tired, I think it's been important, because otherwise, like, you can just lose your relationship in like parenthood, which is obviously not ideal.
No, and the whole day can just,
yeah,
be and you're like, how is it 11 o'clock? Like, did I see you today? You know, we haven't left the house together, but it's just like,
even though we're both at home.
Oh, you're here still, you know, because I'm working and then she's working and we take turns.
That's actually a good segue into the next thing that people asked about, was like how we're dealing with work, and specifically for me, since I like run my own business, how I'm balancing that with parenthood. And the quick answer is not well. I definitely overestimated the amount of things that I could fit into my day with a newborn, and I felt like a hamster on a wheel, just kind of going a little bit crazy. I didn't take enough maternity leave, and so now we're 12 weeks in and I'm finally getting to the place where I'm like, okay, I gotta scale back a little bit. For those of you guys who don't know, I run my own creative agency basically. So I do photography, videography, graphic design, copywriting, kind of the whole gamut of digital media stuff. And so in addition to this channel, which I work on, what would you say, like 20-30 hours a week?
At least, yeah.
Something like that. It's almost a full-time job. It could be a full-time job if I let it be. But in addition to that, I also have all these client projects, and so it's been hard because you don't have the time, and then also you're exhausted. And mom brain is such a real thing. Like, I'll be writing an article for like a copywriting client, and I'll have all these thoughts, and they're just like floating up here, and I can't like reach up and grab them and put them down onto a page. And it's really frustrating. And honestly, sometimes it feels like I've lost like a part of myself, because like I can't make my brain work the way that it used to work. I read something the other day that said that breastfeeding takes 25% of the body's energy and the brain only takes 20%. So that's where all of my brain cells are at right now. But I think having grace with myself and being willing to cut back, even though it's scary, and I'm such an achievement-minded person that I want to just like accomplish a goal and then go straight to the next one and straight to the next one, and taking this time to just like be present and slow down has been hard, but good. And that's a transition that I'm still working on.
Could you just like think with your boobs?
Yeah, you guys got all this energy. Can you come up with some good ideas, please?
For me, like, works, you know, I'm working from home, so I find the time between like the emails and phone calls and stuff to do a burp or a diaper change or anything, and that's fun, because it's like I wouldn't normally get to be experiencing these moments in his life. So I think it's really special, and I'm grateful for quarantine in that regard, just because like I haven't missed a day of his life so far, or an hour really, you know.
Yeah.
Otherwise I would be gone 9-10 hours a day. But then I feel bad too, because sometimes I have to go, like I have to leave, I have to go drive for a little bit, or go to one of my properties, and like I'm leaving her alone, and like we're not really used to that, so it's like, oh, I miss my family, and then she's just like, oh my gosh, I'm actually alone. It's like, it can be kind of daunting, I think.
Yeah. Ro's a very fussy baby too, so it really helps when both of us are here, even if we're both working, because like on his lunch break or whatever, he can give me a little bit of a break, or like if he has a meeting, like I've got the baby.
One of the other things is, you're talking about like underestimating, you know, the amount of work that he was going to take, but he's also a terrible sleeper.
So bad. So bad, you guys. We're working on it, and he's come a long way, and I am going to do a newborn sleep tips video, because it has been a process.
Because like he'll go down for a nap, and you're like, oh, we've got, you know, 2 or 3 hours or something, and then 20 minutes, like clockwork, he's just wham, and he's like, but he doesn't even cry sometimes. He just like, he'll lose the binky, and then he'll realize he's lost the binky, and then he'll just be like, eh. Like he just wails, kind of makes noise, because he's like, hey, come fix it.
Ideally, he would be awake for an hour, sleep for 2 hours, be awake for an hour, sleep for 2 hours. But sometimes it's more like he's awake for an hour and then he sleeps for 20 minutes, and then he's awake for 2 hours and he's overtired and screaming and we can't get him to sleep, and then he sleeps for 2 hours. It's a whole thing. Sometimes you kind of gotta choose, like, okay, he's napping, I can get some work done, or I can sleep which one's it gonna be?
For me, it's I can play video games or I could sleep. Like at night, like it'll be like 9 or 10 o'clock and the baby will be down and she'll be going to bed and I'm just like, sleep or video games.
So people also asked about just like how your life has changed, like all the personal stuff and like your hobbies and changes you've noticed there.
I feel like, so I kind of probably play the same amount of video games, but I have to be more communicative with you about it now, because it's not like, you know, I can just leave you for 2 hours or whatever and you'll, you know, entertain yourself or whatever. But like, now there's like a baby and all these, then all you know, 95% of the responsibility goes to you. Especially if I'm streaming on Twitch, because then it's like, well, I don't want to like be running back and forth. But if it's just like with the guys or whatever, then I can help. But like just being again, like we talked about, communicative about like, hey, every Monday I'm gonna get on at like 6 p.m. with the guys and play some games or whatever. So like we try to plan ahead, but then, you know, Rowan's got his own schedule, so it's like, hey guys, I'm not gonna be on until 7.
Yeah, it's important to carve out that time for yourself too. That's something I really struggled with, and again had to get better about asking for help, because in the beginning I was getting no me time at all, and suddenly every social media post I'd ever seen where a mom was like, I never get any time for me, I was like, I get you. And I kind of felt like I was being mama so much of the time that I wasn't having any time to be Megan anymore. And I think as a result of that, and also just the mom brain and lack of sleep, I was getting really overwhelmed with the things that I needed to do, like for work and for him. And so even taking like 10 minutes in the morning to do a workout, and like he keeps an eye on Rowan when he's napping or whatever, or we'll do it before you have work, so you can just watch him. Even just taking that time makes me a better mom and a better wife. Also having a cup of coffee, like uninterrupted by the baby, that's another really like quick, good me time thing you can do if you're also a new mom and struggling with that.
I've been sending her to the store. I'm like, well, why don't you just like go to Target, like go like,
yeah, like we need groceries,
go shop and have some fun and buy some candles or something. Like, and then she just like gets to go and be herself. And like I stay home with the kiddo and I'm like, oh, it'll be fine. And then 10 minutes after she leaves, he's screaming and I'm like, oh my god, what do I do? You know, but like, yeah, I gotta take my lumps.
But yeah, I mean, life is the hardest it's ever been, but it's also by far the best.
Oh yeah.
I think it's ever been. It's been so cool watching you become a dad. Like it's a whole new level to our relationship. It's insane, and I love you even more, which I didn't think was possible.
You know, I just do what I do, what I do. It feels like it takes more effort, but at the same time it doesn't feel like it takes more effort. I don't know, it's just like,
it's just different.
It's just different. You just roll with it and yeah, adapt and overcome.
And I'm so excited every day. I wake up like exhausted, but also like excited to see him. He's napping, that's why I'm pointing.
He's so cute.
He's so cute. We can forgive him for anything.
Yeah, if he wasn't so cute, then I don't know, he'd be nice. might be taking him back to the hospital and say, nope, the point is he's cute and we love him.
Yeah, we do. This is such a cool, fun stage of life. I'm really excited for like what the future holds. Last question. People want to know when we're having another one.
Well, we'll see you for the next time.
Bye guys, thanks so much for watching. No, just kidding. Eventually.
Eventually.
We're not thinking about it yet.
We'd like to buy a house first.
Yeah. That's pretty much all we've got to say. I mean, I don't know how you condense so many life changes into one video, but hopefully that's kind of succinct if any of you are expecting and wondering kind of what is coming your way. Biggest thing I can say is make sure you carve out time for your relationship and time for yourself.
Be patient. Yeah,
just try to be patient and as present as possible because the days go by so fast. Thank you guys for watching. If you have any other questions that you want us to answer, please leave them below in the comments and we'll try to get to as many of them as we can. And yeah, we love you guys and we'll see you all in the next video.
Bye.
Jinx.